Alrighty, let's look at our REST API and making it read-only. So Spring Data REST will expose all these endpoints for free. So we get support for post, get, put, delete. So full CRUD operations. But actually, this is not what I want. I want the REST API to be read-only, especially with release 1.0 of our application. In release 1.0, we're simply listing products. So in this case, we really want it to be read-only. And I don't want anyone on the outside to be able to add new products or delete products. I don't want that right now. So I'd like to disable the post method, allow the get methods, disable the put method, and also disable the delete method. So how can we do this? Well, there are some possible solutions. Option one is simply don't use Spring Data REST. So in this case, we'd manually create our own REST controller and manually define methods for access using @get mapping. But we lose the Spring Data REST support for paging, sorting, and so on. And those are some really nice features. I don't want to lose those. And the other option is to use Spring Data REST, but configure it to disable certain HTTP methods like post, delete, etc. And this is the one that we'll choose. And then you're probably wondering, well, what about security? And that's a very good point. So we'll actually cover REST API security later in the course. So we'll apply security to only allow access to certain methods for certain authorized users. But for now, just for release 1, we'll simply disable certain methods and make the API read-only. But don't worry, we'll talk about security later in the course. Alrighty, so let's look at setting up the Spring Data REST configuration. So we're going to disable the HTTP methods for post, put, and delete. So we'll create this special configuration class. We'll have this MyDataREST-config that implements repository REST configurer. And this interface is from the Spring Data REST API. And we'll simply override this method or implement this method for configure repository REST configuration. We'll simply set up a list of HTTP methods to disable for put, post, delete. And then in the configuration, we'll say that it's for this given domain type, product.class. So this is for the product repo. And we'll set up the configuration for single item and also collection. And then this API makes use of the fancy Java lambdas annotation. So we have parens for metadata, HTTP methods, the arrow symbol, that's Java lambdas, and we specify the method. Here we give HTTP methods.disable, and we pass in that array that we created a little earlier, the unsupported actions. And this block of code will essentially disable the methods for put, post, and delete for our product REST repository. Alrighty, that's it. So let's go ahead and move into our IDE and let's add this new configuration class and test it out.